This video is sponsored by your mum.
Yeah, man, simple purples. Let's make some jungle music with the OP-1. First of all, let us sample a drum break into the drum sampler. Any source that you have, of course, is okay, or you can download from my Patreon page. Press the microphone from the drum sampler to hop straight into the sampling mode. We have the drum break there. Voilance. Simplest way to chop them up here is to eighths. So imagine one measure, one bar is 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just making sure here we have a clean transient. We don't miss any of that initial hit of the drum, and we don't have any residue at the end point there, at the end of the sample. So we get clean chops, and eventually we're going to change the playback mode to one shots. You see that red little arrow there? That little son of a gun right there? We want it to hit that wall. It means that when we press one of these keys, it plays the sample throughout. We don't need to hold the key down. That's going to make sequencing this drum breaks more easier. Now, see, I have all of these keys here that I haven't used for anything. We can use the lift technique there. Hold the key down, press lift, hold the next key down, drop. Use these existing chops and just change the parameters of them a little bit. For example, change the pitch of it, play it backwards, change the volume of it. And this is going to help you as you sequence it to make a little bit more variation in your drum break chopabilization. Sequencing your chops, there's a couple of ways you can do it. Of course, I'm going to show you one of them right now. This is the endless sequencer. Just enter all your chops in the order that you want them. A little bit more difficult because you have to memorize the chops more, but very effective for longer runs. Cool thing is you can do it on the fly like this. For example, change the octaves as you record it. You can also reverse it, double the tempo, or randomize the playback of the notes. Let's record a pass of this real quick. Random, check them out. Second way I'm going to show you is the pattern sequencer. A lot of cool stuff you can do with this that's different from the endless sequencer. Here I have a sequence. Let's push the BPM up to 80 there. It's around 160, but yeah, you have to half it, double it, kind of think of it in that way depending on how you decide to think about it. Anyways, I have a pattern right here, as you can see. Technically 2 bars. Now you can use the zone function right here. Select how big of a zone you want to play back by using the white knob, and then holding shift and twisting the white knob, you can choose which section to play back. And then you can record piece by piece into the tape later on. Meaning, lots of variation with one simple sequence, you know what I'm saying? Also, you can reverse it and do all that shit in here too. Of course, we want a laser tight sample, so we're gonna hop back into the sampler, and we need to match that pitch with the tempo. Right now, it's a little bit choppy, so we can just, and it's playing at 80 BPM, it's technically 160. Let's try playing it one semitone down. It sounds better, no small little gaps, you know what I'm saying? So adjust the tempo or the pitch to laser fit it. Now let's do some nitro pimping. This is interesting. Add the nitro effect to this drum break sample. Now we're going to use the green knob and find a thump bump sweet spot. We need to push this joystick forward in order to hear it. And now we're going to search for our sweet spot. A bump in the low end. Oh yeah, real sub bump right there. Now we can just dial back on the joystick a little bit, because we don't want it to be overly apparent. Just a little bit of extra thump in the kick, you know what I'm saying? Let us record this to the tape. We're just going to record the first 3 bars here. And we can fuck around with the settings here of the effect, just to get some more animation and life, breathe some life into it, you know what I'm saying? Nice, voilance. Let's chop it at the 4th bar there, lift that part away and remove it. What happened? We left the 4th bar. That's because this is when this comes into play. I'm going to make another pattern here. You could either do the zone flipping choice thingamajig I showed you earlier, or just draw a new pattern in. Nice, now I want to record that for a little bit of variation, you know what I'm saying? Beauty. What is a jungle joint without some synthesizer on it? We're gonna of course play a chord and resample it so we can play it back and transpose the whole chord, which is gonna sound pretty radical. I tend to always come back to this sound for some reason. I used it on so many beats. Now we're just gonna push the portamento up here because I want a cool pitch swaying effect. And for this to work, we need to go down a couple of octaves just to kind of reset it, so we get that ramp up. Recording this to tape now, I have the other tracks muted, and then we're gonna lift this into the synthesizer sampler. Lift, drop. Gain setting here is making it heavily distortionalized, so we need to hold shift and pull that red knob to bring it down to a suitable volume. Let us play it and record it to the tape. Something like that, yeah? Yeah, doesn't need to be much more complicated than that. Just need a heavy ass sub bass to go with this right about around now. If you need a good starting point, a tip is to go with the FM synthesizer and pick the whatchamacall, sub bass preset. That should rattle the subwoofer a little bit. I'm just gonna take some release off of it there on the ADSR envelope. I think we're just about ready right about around now. That should provide you with the basics. That's a toolkit right there. You should be able to go off and make some more interesting variations and build some complete jungle and drum and bass tracks using only the OP-1. Good luck!